What's going on, YouTube? So let's get right into this tutorial. So what we got going on for you guys today is we are doing a mid drop fade with C cups and a textured top with lineup. So right now I'm just kind of fast forwarding because we're not doing too much shear work. I mean, all we're really doing is point cutting, and we're not really trying to take any length off. Trying to grow out the top just a little more. Just to kind of get his curls to pop a little more, but all I'm doing here really is just angling my shears and just kind of point cutting to create some texture. And then now what I'm doing right here is his so since we're lining it up, it was just a bit too bulky, so I'm just taking my thinning shears and I'm just kind of thinning it out a little bit, that way it's not sitting too heavy. And right here you can see I'm sectioning off his lineup, his bangs. As you can see, I'm going to turn him right here and then you'll be able to see. So what this is doing, and this is going to help me not have to go back and tap his lineup 100 times. I don't know if you guys have ever had a bulky lineup like this or something with, had a lineup friend or something like that, and you just have to keep going over and over and over. Try sectioning the hair off like that. You can break it down into 1, 2, 3, 4, however many sections you want. It just makes it a little easier. So just kind of a tip there for you guys. And now guys, to get into this fade, all we are going to do is start how we usually start in every haircut, is with clipper over comb. And we are just going in, angling out, making sure our comb is not too flat to the head, otherwise we are going to take away from what we are trying to create. And so I'm dropping this, and it's gonna be dropped pretty low, just kind of for the style we're going for. Like I said, we're trying to grow that top out, so we want to keep it a little lower, that way we can maximize our length. And to hop into this fade, we are doing the 1.5, and we are just all the way open, and we are just kind of clearing bulk right now. Following that same shape that we have created with our clipper over comb, making sure we are light with our clipper per usual. Don't want to accidentally take this up too high. As you can see, I'm just kind of flicking out, trying to blend that bulk in a little. He's got really thick hair, so you can see I'm going back over with the thinning shears just to smooth it out. And this is key, guys. Thinning shears are always key, no matter what you want, no matter what you're doing. You always want to go over things with thinning shears. It's just gonna make everything 10 times better. So now that we got that set in, we are going to begin our fading process how we always do it. Clipper closed, putting in our first guideline, our first bald line. And you kind of want to take your time with this. As you can see, I'm just kind of taking my time, making sure that we are dropping that pretty low. Making sure we got all the hair cut. We're not missing any hair or anything. And then we will come in with our trimmer, and we're just going to make sure we get that all the way balled out, all the way around, making sure all of the hair is as short as possible with this. And I like to use Gold FX just because I feel like this blade cuts a little closer. I think the teeth are I can't remember what it is, something with the teeth. I think it cuts a little closer. I'm not 100% sure, but it just feels like that to me. I feel like these are the best balding clippers. But yeah, anyways, after we ball that out completely, we are going to follow that up with the shavers. And if you guys want a more in-depth tutorial of like how to, I guess, like use the shavers, if you guys want like a more in depth of that, I know I don't really go too far into that. I kind of you can just kind of see me going with it. But you just want to be really light. Treat it like a clipper. You don't want it to be too harsh. I don't usually go all the way up to the ball line. I just kind of go right below it. But yeah, because this is something that could take a while to get out. If you're too harsh with it, it might take a while for you to get a line out. But now we are going to hop in with the clipper all the way open. no guard all the way open, and we are going to be setting our first guideline about a half an inch, around an inch. I'd say about a half an inch. Yeah, nothing too big. We want to keep this fade, pretty nice, low, tight, and dark. So now we're just, like I said, just open, making sure we're following that same shape per usual, like I say all the time, making sure, shape is shape. And same applies to this as the shaver. You just want to let the clipper do the work. You don't want to be too harsh. You don't want to create any harsh guidelines. Otherwise, you're going to struggle taking them out. And that, and the shaver is what's really going to show. So if you ever have trouble with that, it could be because you're just too harsh with it. Trying to get that this initial guideline out right here. So yeah, what I like to do is I like to bump that line up. I'll bump it up with my trimmer, a zero gap trimmer. And this is just gonna help us erase that line a little bit easier. And I'm just lightly, barely tapping that up, just moving it up just a little. And it's also gonna help with I always think it makes the fade a little more gradient, just from that super bald to little bald, stubble all the way to the clipper transition. I personally think it makes it a little smoother. So now we're just going all the way closed, and we're just kind of bump that up about a quarter of the way. Nothing too crazy. I would say probably somewhere in between middle of the guideline to quarter of the way. And then we're gonna open it halfway. Open it little by little. We can go. I like going up. If you want to go down, open to close, you can do that as well. Whatever is easier for you. I just feel like it's easier for me this way because I can see the guideline disappearing. Other than going from open halfway close, kind of going down. I feel like sometimes I don't not erase, but I don't stretch that section too much going like that. So I like to go close to open. And you can see I'm just using my corners right here, and I'm just still trying to blend that line out. This first initial guideline is very important. It's the most important guideline. This is what's going to make that fade pop. So once you complete the fade, this is what's going to make that fade pop, just because it's going to show that super bald into the dark transition. So really want to take your time on this step and make sure the guides, there's no guidelines still left in there or anything like that, no dark spots or nothing. So take your time on this first one. And you don't have to sit here and go through it as much as I am. You can finish the fade and then go back to it, but I personally feel like I need to finish the section before I move on, just because I feel like I'd get lost a little easier. If I try to go back in detail, I feel like I won't get lost in what I need to use to get that out. Just more so like I don't really know where it was at, just because it's little things like little dark spots or little shadows that I created on accident or something like that. So same thing, we're just kind of using our corners, making sure we're getting this first section as clean as possible. You can see how I'm just kind of flicking out, I'm not digging or anything like that. And it's just all lever play, guys. Once you got that line out, what I mean, just open, close, whatever it feels like it's going to take it out. And then to move on to the next guideline, we are going to be doing a 1 open, and we're going to make it the same width that we made the open lever, and we're still following that shape of the head. Guys, I don't know if you guys ever cut like super thick Hispanic hair. It is very, very tough, and you guys can notice, you'll be able to see anything in that hair. So you really want to take your time when you're cutting hair. And now to get into the half guard, and we're just starting open, and we're just same thing as usual, just kind of working down this section. Now I know on my open lever I go close to open, but here I like to go open to close, just because I don't want to take this section up too high. because this section right here is what's going to make the blend, you know, kind of where the transition is going to stop, almost in a way, where your blend's going to kind of like just sit. So we don't want to take that too high, so that that's why we kind of work open to close. And you can see I'm just kind of working through this process right here. You know, his hair blends a little easier with this kind of section. So and now we're going to get into the 1.5, and we're just going to retrace our steps and you know, just kind of detail out. I guess now you can say we're kind of detailing, you know, just kind of lighten up this dark line that we see here, and just starting open, and then we will close it halfway and then close it all the way eventually. And when we are closed all the way, we want to be using our corners to be getting into those dark spots. You know, if we use a flat blade, we're going to have an inconsistent fade, and we're going to have one area that's light and one area that's dark. And you guys, we don't really want, obviously we don't want that when we're just doing especially a drop fade, because you'll easily be able to tell. So you can see right here, I'm just kind of using my corners, kind of trying to just, you know, get them dark spots out. And you guys always want to have a comb or a brush in your hand with you, just to kind of get the hairs out the way. And to move on from that section, we are going to do the open lever, and now we're just detailing some dark spots out. Just really anything I see. You guys can see I upgraded to the white background, and it really helps, honestly. I'm starting to see a lot more things that I haven't seen before in my fades. So, and we're just kind of you know, I think we're about close right there that we were doing. And in our final step, we're just using our thinning shears, just kind of softening up this ridge right here. Like I said, you always want to go back, double check your work, double do your work, especially when you're blending into bulk. You know, you want it as soft as possible. And right here, I'm just kind of point cutting. And what I'm doing is just kind of going at any dark spots that I felt like the clipper may be too chunky to get. Then we can move on to the lineup. As you can see right here, just starting at the very tip, and then we're just going to draw this like we're using a pencil. And we're just carving it out, guys, at his darkest natural point, guys. This is not a pushback. We are just, that is hangover hair, so we'll just clean that up. But as you guys can see, that C cup is sharp, very clean, very crispy. I like the way this haircut came out. It came out pretty nice. And as far as the styling process, same as all my videos: water, sea salt spray, matte putty, and then a little bit of powder to finish it off for the hold. Making sure I get his hair super saturated with it, just because he has really thick hair. And then we are going to use probably about a dime size of paste. We don't want to overuse it, otherwise we are going to be able to tell, because his hair will be a little like greasy. And then now we are going to get into the lineup. I kind of like to pre-style before I do the lineup, that way all the hair is in place, and it's kind of like frozen in place. But as you guys can see here, I just started in the middle, and I'm just going to one side, just tapping straight across, making sure not to raise anything or overdo it or push back or nothing. You guys can see it's starting to pop right there. And what you do to one side, you do to the other, so I'm not going to show the other side. I like to keep things pretty short and simple, that way you guys don't have to watch a 20-minute video. Unless you guys want that, you just let me know in the comments below. To the whole YouTube thing, so just let me know in the comments, like I said. And make sure you like, subscribe, share. Let me know how I did on this haircut, guys. I think it came out pretty nice. Peace out.